It is 2 in the morning. You are lying on the extreme outer edge of your mattress, clinging to a sliver of blanket while 80% of the bed is currently occupied by a creature that does not pay rent. Your dog is stretched out, dead to the world, occasionally twitching a paw against your spine. As you lie there contemplating how a 50-pound animal has somehow expanded to the density of a black hole, you probably tell yourself this is just a habit. You assume they are seeking warmth, or maybe they just like the soft sheets. But you would be entirely wrong. When your dog makes the active choice to abandon their perfectly good dog bed to wedge themselves against your ribs, they are not acting out of clinginess or a desire for comfort. They are executing a calculated, multi-millennium neurochemical directive. What is happening inside your dog's brain in the dark hours of the night is a biological mechanism so powerful it literally altered the trajectory of 2 entirely different species. If you think your dog is just sleeping, you have completely missed what they are actually doing to you. To understand what is happening under those blankets, you have to look at how your dog fundamentally categorizes you as an entity. Researchers at Eötvös-Loránd University in Budapest designed a series of behavioral tests to decode the canine mind, and what they found stripped away decades of assumptions about animal behavior. They applied the Ainsworth-Strange Situation Framework, a psychological test originally designed to measure how human toddlers attach to their mothers. It monitors proximity-seeking behavior, distress when separated, and the calming effect of reunion. The researchers assumed dogs would show a generalized pack affinity. Instead, they discovered that dogs bond with their humans using the exact same psychological architecture that a human infant uses to bond with a parent. The final data revealed that exactly 61% of dogs display a secure attachment style to their owners. That is not just a high number. That is the exact same statistical ratio found in human toddlers. When the lights go out and the house goes quiet, your dog's brain is not looking for a pack leader. It is looking for its primary attachment figure. By pressing their physical weight against you in the vulnerable state of sleep, they are communicating a profound psychological truth. Out of everything in their environment, you are the single safest object in their universe. That feeling of safety is not just abstract emotion. It is a highly regulated biological loop coursing through your dog's bloodstream. A landmark study published in the journal Science by researchers at Asabu University in Japan mapped the exact chemical exchange that happens when a dog and a human interact. They isolated a molecule called oxytocin, the precise hormone responsible for deep social bonding and maternal care. The researchers observed a specific cyclical mechanism. Your dog looks up at you. The moment you make eye contact, your brain releases a surge of oxytocin. You smile and look back. That returning gaze triggers an immediate mirroring spike of oxytocin in your dog's brain. This is a closed-loop biological engine that fuels its own momentum. To test just how unique this is, researchers performed the exact same gaze experiment with wolves. Even wolves that had been raised by humans from the moment of birth, bottle-fed and hand-reared, completely failed to activate this oxytocin loop. The wolves simply looked away. But your dog physically needs that chemical exchange. And when daylight fades and your dog settles down next to you, even just 10 minutes of sustained physical contact triggers a physiological cascade in both of your bodies. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone responsible for anxiety and alertness, plummets. Your heart rate's slow. Both of your nervous systems are being chemically hijacked to prepare for deep, restorative sleep. This biological hijacking did not happen by accident. To fully grasp why your dog refuses to sleep anywhere else, you have to look back 15,000 years into the genetic dark age. Long before the invention of agriculture, before written language, before cities existed, there were only scattered bands of early humans shivering around campfires. Beyond the firelight, Wolf silhouettes lurked at the absolute edge of darkness. The transition from those shadowing predators to the animal snoring on your pillow is written in the fossil record. Consider a 14,000-year-old burial site discovered in Germany. Archaeologists unearthed the remains of a young dog buried alongside human hunter-gatherers. But the bones told a tragic story. This ancient dog had contracted canine distemper, a debilitating viral disease. It could not hunt. It could not contribute. In the brutal calculus of Ice Age survival, it should have been left behind. Yet, the dental evidence proved this dog survived for 5 weeks through the worst of the illness, which means early humans actively nursed it, cleaned it, and protected it until it died. They mourned it enough to bury it with their own dead. That level of devotion required a fundamental shift in DNA. Modern genetic sequencing shows that dogs carry specific genetic insertions on chromosome 6. These are genes dedicated entirely to extreme hypersociability, mutations that wolves simply do not possess. Early humans did not just tame a wild animal. Over thousands of generations, we systematically rewrote their genetic code to ensure they could not survive. Without our physical presence, this engineered desperation for proximity creates a strange, biological contradiction when it comes to actual rest. If you look purely at objective medical data, keeping your dog in your bed is a terrible idea. Sleep tracking statistics from the Mayo Clinic clearly demonstrate that dogs physically disrupt human sleep cycles. They kick, they scratch, they pant, and they shift positions multiple times an hour, dragging you out of the deepest phases of REM sleep. By all scientific metrics, sleeping with your dog should leave you exhausted. Yet, psychological data tells the exact opposite story. A massive 2024 study from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland found that dog owners consistently report feeling more rested, more secure, and less anxious when their dog is in the bed with them. This is not a placebo effect. It is a phenomenon called nervous system co-regulation. When a securely attached dog rests its body against yours, it anchors your autonomic nervous system. Your heart rate variability, a key metric of stress resilience, literally begins to synchronize with the slow, steady breathing of the animal beside you. If a random, unfamiliar human were to climb into your bed, your threat detection systems would flood your body with adrenaline. But the biological signature of your bonded dog acts as a heavy, weighted blanket for your brain. They are disrupting your physical sleep, but they are dramatically repairing your psychological rest. Because this behavior is so deeply wired into their biology, any sudden change to their nighttime routine should immediately stop you in your tracks. If your dog has always slept beside you and suddenly starts sleeping on the floor, isolating themselves in another room, or pacing the dark hallways, it is never a random quirk. It is an urgent communication that something is profoundly wrong. Your dog's primary instinct is to mask vulnerability, so they will hide pain until it is unbearable. Often, a sudden reluctance to jump onto the mattress is the absolute earliest detectable sign of hidden joint deterioration or osteoarthritis. The pain of the jump simply outweighs the biological drive for proximity. But there is a darker, more insidious reason a dog abandons the bed. As dogs age, their brain chemistry begins to fray. Veterinary neurology indicates that a staggering 35% of dogs over the age of 8 will develop some form of canine cognitive dysfunction. It is the exact biological equivalent of human dementia. The disease systematically attacks the brain's spatial memory and sleep-wake regulation. Your dog might wander the house at 3 in the morning not because they want to sleep alone, but because the degenerative plaques in their brain have suddenly made the layout of their own home unrecognizable. They are lost in the dark, trapped in a failing mind, unable to find the safe harbor they have relied on their entire life. So tonight, when you wake up shoved against the nightstand, With a paw digging into your ribs and a heavy head resting on your ankles, try to see the moment for what it really is. Your dog did not end up in that exact spot by accident. They navigated a chaotic world of sounds, smells, and distractions, and out of every option available to them on this planet, their brain chemically demanded that they anchor themselves to you. You are their gravity. Drop a comment below and tell me, what percentage of the bed does your dog actually take up tonight? And while you are thinking about how your dog physically anchors to you in the dark, you need to understand how they manipulate you in the daylight. The way your dog looks at you when you are wide awake is not just affection. It is a sophisticated cognitive strategy designed to hack your nervous system. And the science behind their stare is even more mind-bending than how they sleep.